Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order as scheduled. I'm going to ask Ms. Carrillo for verification of quorum. Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor, ma'am.
Mayor Armando Ocaña,
Present, ma'am.
Councilman Ruben Plata,
Present.
Councilman Alberto Vela.
Present.
Mayor, we've got three in person, and we are still waiting for Mayor Pro Tem Ortega and Councilwoman Garza, but we do have quorum.
Is there any thing that we have to hold on for either council member out of courtesy?
I haven't gotten any messages, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That's all I needed. So I'll move right along and ask Mr. Pettis for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. If I can have everyone please stand. Heavenly Father, in the mystery of Easter, we have in faith and hope. May our hearts be filled with your love and peace. As we begin Holy Week, we pray that you open our hearts and receive the joy and hope it brings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettis. I'll call for presentations. I'll call for item number 1. Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor, ma'am. I haven't signed any proclamations.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. With us today, we have Ms. Tina Martin. She's the president of the Children's Advocacy Center. We also have Pat Blum and Mr. Jesus Sanchez, who is the executive director.
Can you ask him to come before the podium so the citizens will be able to see him on the... Thank you.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo and Starr Counties is a nonprofit organization that was established in the year 2000 with a mission to reduce the emotional trauma of child abuse victims, provide community education about the prevention of child abuse, and to assist in the effective prosecution of those who perpetrate crimes against children. Whereas the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo and Starr Counties is one of 800 children's advocacy centers nationwide, one of 70 in Texas, and the first child-focused facility and community-based program of its kind in Hidalgo and Starr Counties. Whereas the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo and Starr Counties gives hope, healing, and justice to victims of child abuse by providing immediate crisis intervention, forensic interviews, forensics exams, family advocacy, mental health services, and community education in a child-friendly, non-institutional environment where young victims are not afraid to tell their story. Whereas to raise awareness and funds for the organization, the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo and Starr Counties is having the 12th annual Vinos at the McAllen Convention Center on Saturday, April 30th, 2022, featuring delicious food, fine wines, and amazing entertainment by premier show band Satellite and the Renaissance Rockers. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Mission, support this event to raise funds to support the Children's Advocacy Center of Hidalgo and Starr Counties in their mission to stop child abuse one child at a time and give hope, healing, and justice to victims of child abuse. Proclaimed on this, the 11th day of April, 2022.
Thank you, Ms. Carrillo. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Mayor, I move to approve the proclamation.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This proclamation is approved at 3-0.
Thank you.
And I have it right here. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay,
You have the floor first.
keeping it short, I wanted to thank you for the city proclamation supporting our Children's Advocacy Center. I am Tina Martin. I'm the president of the CAC, and I am a property owner and a resident of the city of Mission.
Great.
Get that in there. I am so proud that in August 2017, the city helped us obtain our own center on North Conway. The first 5 months, we interviewed over 113 children. As of today, we have served over 3,000 children in the Mission Center. Mathematically, if you do it, that's 2 children a day for 5 days a week for 52 weeks a year. There you go, that's my math. These children who have been subjected to sexual assault, physical abuse, or trafficked, our center has been able to help the residents in our community and surrounding areas have easier access to child interviews, family and individual counseling. And of course, we could not serve all these children and family without the support of Chief Dominguez and his department. They have been very supportive. I keep a sign in my office as a reminder of what these children and families can overcome. And it says, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced with. The Children's Advocacy Center helps these children and families not be reduced in their situation. All of us, all of you have helped us provide hope, healing, and justice for the families. So again, I thank you for the support, and I look forward to seeing you April 30th at Vino's. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you again. Thank you for our center.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we can get you all here and we'll have you in the council.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, look at the camera, smile. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now calling for item number 2, Chief Dominguez is,
He's out.
okay. Assistant Chief Tittle, you have the floor, sir.
He's enjoying some deserved vacation today.
Good.
Council, Mayor,
Yes.
City Manager,
Chief Torres, step up to,
I got the whole gang here.
yes.
I'm going to begin by reading the proclamation for Telecommunicators Week. The men and women who serve as public safety telecommunicators, such as 911 operators and dispatchers, are dedicated to saving lives. They respond to Texans in times of great need, and their specialized skill and calm, caring presence are invaluable to the Lone Star State. The Commission on the State of Emergency Communications works with local and state governments to ensure reliable access to emergency telecommunications services. To highlight the invaluable role of public safety telecommunicators, the Commission designated a week in April for an awareness campaign. At this time, we encourage all citizens of Mission to extend their appreciation to public safety telecommunicators, their diligent efforts to ensure that help is on the way when our citizens need it the most. Now, therefore, as a City Council City Mission, I'd like y'all to designate this week as Telecommunicators Week. And here today, I've got Daisy Ramirez and Andres Hernandez, 2 of our supervisors from Communications. The people behind in that office is kind of the unseen heroes. You hear them on the phone, but you don't get to see them, and they're our eyes and ears for those who call us on the radio.
Thank you.
That's it.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move to approve the proclamation as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This proclamation is approved 4-0.
Thank you, sir.
And is there anything else you want to say, or so I can officially present you the proclamation?
The floor is all yours, sir.
Okay, thank you. Here is the proclamation. Congratulations. Congratulations. Look this way.
Okay, the first one. Okay, can I take a group picture?
Now we're going to get together with the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Item number 3, Ms. Longoria, you have the floor, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. The proclamation for Fair Housing Month reads as follows. Whereas the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development implemented the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program in 1974 for the purpose of providing local governments with the financial resources to assist low and moderate income persons. And whereas the City of Mission has utilized nonprofit organizations to address neighborhood and human needs, and whereas the CDBG program has made a significant impact on our community through funding of programs for youth, elderly, and disabled, housing assistance, economic development, and water, sewer, and drainage improvements. And whereas the City of Mission and other local governments have clearly demonstrated the capacity to administer the CDBG program to identify, prioritize, and resolve pressing local problems. And whereas the National Fair Housing Law of 1968 prohibits discrimination in housing and declares it a national policy to provide within constitutional limits for fair housing in the United States. And whereas the principle of fair housing is not only state and national law, but a fundamental human concept and right for all people in the United States. And whereas the Federal Fair Housing Act recognizes, supports, and encourages the right of every person, regardless of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, disability, and age, to live in the housing of the individual's choice. And whereas the anniversary of the National Fair Housing Law during the month of April provides an opportunity for all Americans to recognize that complete success in the goal of equal housing opportunity can only be accomplished with the help and cooperation of all Americans. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Mission, do hereby designate the month of April as Fair Housing Month, shared opportunity in every community, and further, April 11th through the 15th, 2022, as National Community Development Week, Building Equitable Communities, proclaimed on this 11th day of April 2022.
Thank you.
Mayor, I move to approve the proclamation.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This proclamation is approved 4-0. And I want to officially present you the,
If I can just say a few words.
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to call Robert Calvillo up to the podium.
Mr.
just to-
Calvillo, you,
Just to briefly let everybody know that in celebration of Fair Housing Month and CDBG Week, this month on April 23rd, the city will host a community roundup and a second annual New Neighbor Fair at the Mission Event Center. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, several departments are going to get together along with Affordable Homes of South Texas Incorporated to provide a fun day filled with information, games, and a home buyer fair and a car show, all free to the public. And I have here Mr. Calvillo. who has
Mr.
something
Calvillo, you
else.
have the floor.
Thank you. So just very quickly, it's always a pleasure to come to the Mission City Council. How welcoming the city is, both the mayor, the council, and staff, on understanding the importance of fair housing and the importance of CDBG for the community. So what we do in this event is we will be working with the city and trying to make sure that families are educated about the home buying process. None of us, when we bought our first house, knew what we were doing. And that we feel that's very important, the service that we provide to the community. We've been doing this for 24 years, and in the midst of a pandemic last year, we decided to do it here in Mission. Very successful, and we hope to be even more successful this year.
Good. Thank you. Good. All yours. Let me have the folder. Okay. Just grab it. And give me your hand.
And turn to the left.
Yeah. Now together. With the council.
This is the first time you do it.
Okay. Come on. Right. Thank you.
This is that proclamation week.
Thank you. Thank you, officer. Okay, calling for item number 4. Mr. Ramirez, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In front of you, you should have a 3-page packet, reads Information Technology Assessments Update. As requested, I have provided a summary of the insight assessment that was performed that can be found on page 2. All of the recommendations have been completed and include the upgrade and install of network equipment and firewalls, installation of Wi-Fi, upgrade of antivirus software, installation of server storage and backups, installation of Office 365 and Teams for collaboration and communication, installation of conference equipment. In addition, on page 3, I have also included the ongoing internal assessment audit to include some of the major projects, such as the telephone system upgrade, replacing end-of-life computers and servers, creating an autonomous network, and creating a DR site. At this time, if anybody has any questions, I would be more than glad to answer.
Looks very self-explanatory from my part. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Unless any of the council members have any specific questions. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Item number 5, Ms. Enriquez, you have the floor, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we are continuing to organize our next signature event, which is our annual tournament. It is dated for Friday, May 6th. At this moment, we are securing golf teams. It's a 3-man scramble and tournament to benefit Mission CISD students. Anyone interested, give us a call. In educational and business development, we have a termination best practices webinar on April 20th. We have a lunch and learn on customer service hosted by Chick-fil-A on the 27th, and that's open for our chamber members. Lunch is provided. Anyone who's not a chamber member, there's a small fee, but it's on the 27th. On the 28th, we have a human resources processes for first-time businesses. On April 20th, we do have our Chamber Champions lunch meeting. So we do invite anybody who is our Chamber Champion to come out and join us. Anyone who's interested in being a Chamber Champion, come and join us as well. On April 29th, the South Texas Onion Committee has announced their restaurant week. So we invited all of our restaurants to participate. So what they do is they could do dishes with onions. So it's really neat. So we do invite anybody in the community to participate. Anyone who's a restaurant, more information, they can give us a call as well. But we have emailed all of our members on that.
Is that on one location or on their side location?
Several locations.
Several locations.
Yeah. So it's what they do is they encourage local eateries. It's really neat. And then our chamber tourism team will be participating in the 2022 Welcome Home Rio Grande Valley State of the Season, so they'll let us know what the pulse is for the Winter Texans. We do want to invite someone from the city to come and join us as well, so we can all sit in that important information. And the Mission Prosperity Ventures nonprofit foundation that we do have, we've already rolled out. We have our scholarship application now open. The deadline is April 29th, and this scholarship is for students in high school in the city of Mission, whether they're going to any of the Mission schools and are attending a higher institution. We have scholarships. Our scholarship application is now available. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions by any of the council members? No questions? Thank you. Moving to item number 6, departmental reports. Council, you have the departmental reports in your packet. Mr. Perez is here. If you have any questions on any of the department, I'm looking for your direction.
I'm going to approve the department reports as presented.
We have a motion to approve the department reports as presented. Do I hear a second? Second. Last time, a chance for any of the council members to pull any of the department reports. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0 for item number 6. Calling for item number 7. Ms. Carrillo, please advise me in the order.
Yes, Mayor. The first person that signed up was Michael Olinger.
Michael Oliger, if you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. You will have 2 minutes to address the council. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time. Is there anybody, if he's on electronics by any chance? Charlie, no electronics? Let's move up to the second one. If he shows up, I'll call the agenda item again.
Edwina Garza.
Nina Garza, if you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. Name, address for the record, and you have 2 minutes. Name and address for the record, ma'am, and you have 2 minutes, unless you need more, because that's important.
No. My name is Edwina Garza. I'm with Texas Oregon Sharing Alliance. We're at 1400 North McCall, Suite 104A in McAllen. Again, my name is Edwina Garza. I'm with Texas Oregon Sharing Alliance. April is National Donate Life Month, the month to highlight the critical need that we have for organ, eye, and tissue donors in our community, and to also celebrate those who have given the gift of life. Of course, here in the city of Mission, you all have a special connection to organ donation, or to tissue donation, rather. If you do not know, of course, your fallen officer, Corporal Speedy Espericueta. He was a registered donor, and he was able to impact lives as a tissue donor. So what we're trying to do this month is reach out to all of our community stakeholders, encourage them to share the message about organ, eye, and tissue donation, and to celebrate donation so that we can normalize organ donation and, of course, save more lives. There are about 100,000 people who are waiting for a transplant. Unfortunately, every single day, 17 people die, people of all different ages and all different backgrounds. So today, I've come by, I've given the mayor his gift, but we wanted to give you all on the council a gift that we have for you all to celebrate Donate Life Month and to hope to encourage you all to participate this month on behalf of the City of Mission and those who are waiting for a gift of life. Okay?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And next person, Ms. Carrillo.
Yes, Mayor. This one, Mr. Jesus Mendoza, he is on Zoom.
Mr. Mendoza, your name and address for the record, and you have 2 minutes, sir, and let's double check that technology has connected us together.
Okay, my name is Jesus Mendoza, and I'm on 2202 East 28th Street, Mission, Texas. This is my telephone number. It is 956-583-7012. This is an open request to the U.S. District Chief Judge. I have been homebound for more than 10 years with a life-threatening electrosensitivity EHS, which is caused and aggravated by exposure to the same microwave radiation reaching children at school. I have been violently ill several times. I'm in pain all the time. This is a horrible way to die. My EHS has been recognized by federal and state agencies and by courts as a physical medical condition and as a disability, and proves conclusively that severe harm is being caused on our children by the radiation in school. I respectfully request the Chief Judge to assign an impartial judge to my 2 pending cases before the federal court at McAllen on the ground that the 3 district judges presiding before this court participated on the decision to place a massive amount of military-grade microwave transmitters in schools, on the decision to conceal that the compulsory and unnecessary exposures to microwave radiation at school are causing children electrosensitivity and other catastrophic and irreversible harm and disabilities that defeat the purpose of education, and participated on the decision to conceal that a massive medical malpractice and a massive Medicare and Medicaid fraud are masking the harm caused by radiation on children and on other defenseless and unsuspecting victims, and on the ground that unless these judges are recused, their disability discrimination, retaliation, and fraud on their courts to conceal the harm caused by the radiation on children and on other defenseless and unsuspecting victims will continue unaddressed, undeterred, and with impunity. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Next person,
Yes, Mayor, we've got Mike Silva, and he is on Zoom.
Mr. Silva, name and address for the record, and you have 2 minutes, sir, unless I grant you some extra time. Go ahead, sir.
Mayor and City Council, Mike Silva, President of the Mission Firefighters Association, located at 2118 East 27th Street. Mayor and City Council, if you recall, about a little over a month and a half ago, you gave the firefighters the direction to work with the city to provide language that allows the chief to hire firefighter paramedics. Last week, representatives from the association and the city reached a consensus that satisfies both parties. Today, I urge the City Council to approve the meet and confer agreement that is set under executive session. Firefighters have negotiated in good faith and are highly motivated to provide a high-quality service. Ratifying the agreement will not only give the public reassurance of high-quality fire-based EMS, but highly paid, trained professionals that care about our community. Thank you for the time, and I appreciate your support for the betterment of our organization and the citizens we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. Next individual.
Yes, we have Irma Flores Lopez.
Ms. Lopez, your name and address at the podium, please. You have 2 minutes unless I give you additional time.
Thank you. Hello, City Council and Council. Correct me if you need to. Irma Flores Lopez, 1201 Carolina. You've seen me speak up here several times, and I used to do it 15 years ago. And I remember there was 2 ladies. One of them, the former administration called the police, and that's when the police started showing up at meetings, and they ran her out. Miss Opal Billman, rest in peace. And then there was another prominent lady. She was never run out. I won't mention her name, but she lived in the Sherry area of Mission. And me, I hope I never get to be run out. I'm here because I have a history in Mission. My grandfather came here in 1919. I have a picture of him planting citrus trees here in Mission in 1928. And that's on my maternal side, and my sister Hilda is here with me also today. And on my paternal side, Ernesto Flores used to play accordion with Mario Sainz. He was known as La Chata. And I just feel I have to come and speak up, and because of my social work background, and because I love my community, I speak up. I'm not always right. I'm learning from everyone. I'd like to thank the City Council and all the employees because I feel very safe. The police department is, I think, well-manned or well-womaned or well whatever. I feel protected and safe at night. Fire department, I'm excited about it. Units and all, and the ambulance, awesome. And it's good to see a familiar face, Cesar Torres. He did a lot of community work with me in the mid-90s at Mission Housing Authority. It's good to see you, and I'm glad you're back. Again, I said this last time I was here, with the candidate applicants and all that. I'm so glad you're so transparent. I looked up some of the information. Some applicants have certain addresses for mailing and other residential, and this time with the funding report, they're a little different. Please take a look and don't deceive us, the voters. Thank you, and have a happy Easter.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Any other? Ms. Carrillo?
No, sir.
We have no others?
Can I speak?
Ms. Carrillo, do you have her?
No, sir.
No, I don't comment. Can I speak?
I will recognize you, Ms. Salinas Peña, and I'll give you 2 minutes, name and address for the record.
Give everybody more time if they need it, except me. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here because I'm a Lion member, and I've been a Lion member for over 25 years. I'm going to use 715 Miller Avenue today. One of our main items and goals as a Lion member is to recycle and to train our students and our community how to recycle. I know they recycle the bins or moved them, and I had talked to you, Mr. Perez. Where they moved them is not a safe area. It used to be flat, and it's easier to take all the clean plastic and paper. It's in a curve, so you can fall over and get hurt. So I was just wondering if they could be move to another area. And the number 2 item is finally, after many, many years, we are in the process of doing a documentary on historical history of my father, Bernardo Peña, and I'm really excited because we've worked so hard and we're getting so many people from New York and Chicago really interested. So finally, it's taken a lot of time. And I do want to thank Nori, my neighbor, for also being instrumental. We're from the Miller Street area and being very supportive of this case, of this documentary. So if you could do something about the recycling, because we really need to address that. Thank you very much, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Ms. Peña. Any other, for the spirit of fairness, if there's anybody on the audience and you didn't sign up, I will open it up for anybody else that wants to actively participate as citizen participation for the spirit of fairness. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm going to close the item number 7 and call for the public hearing, planning and zoning recommendation. At the request of the developer, item number 8, we are not going to take any action and we're not going to open the public hearing, so I'm calling for item number 9. Ms. De Luna, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Item number 9 is a rezoning for a tract of land containing .888 of 1 acre, being a part or portion of Lot 32, Bellwoods Company Subdivision C. This is from AOI Agricultural Open Interim to C3 General Business. The applicant is Daniel Michael McLean. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located 1424 feet north of West Mile 2 Road along the west side of Conway Avenue. Surrounding zones include agricultural to the north, west, and south, and to the east is general business and agricultural. The future land use map shows this area as general commercial. The proposed zone does comply with the city's future land use map and surrounding land uses. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Thank you, Ms. De Luna. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the rezoning and item number 9? If you are in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. Go ahead, sir. Name and address for the record, sir. And you're in favor or against the rezoning on item number 9, sir?
My name is Sam Benson. My address is 2205 West Jackson Avenue, McAllen. I am completely against this application for rezoning. I have met with you, Mayor.
It's not the same item, sir.
Oh, it's not the same one?
No, sir. Item number 8, we took no action, sir.
Oh, I apologize.
There was no action. The item dies, and we're moving to item number 9, sir.
I apologize. I'm mistaken. Yeah, I apologize.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anybody in favor or against the rezoning for item number 9? I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm going to ask for the electronic. Is there anybody in electronics? Alex? No, I will close this item number 9 for public hearing, and I'll ask for guidance from the council.
I'm going to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion by the council? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9, ordinance number for the record 5156 is approved 4-0. Ms. Ortega is still not on Zoom, right?
No, sir. She was not going to be available.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Calling for item number 10, Ms. De Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 10 is a rezoning for a 3.780 acre tract of land being out of the remaining south 5 acres of Lot 32 Bellwood C subdivision. This is from AOI Agricultural Open Interim to C3 General Business. The applicant is Hayter Properties LLC. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located 1270 feet north of West Mile 2 Road along the west side of North Conway. Surrounding zones include general business to the north and east, agricultural to the east, west, and south. The future land use map shows this area as general commercial. The proposed zone does comply with city's future land use map and surrounding land uses. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the rezoning, please approach the podium at this time if you're in the audience. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm going to close a correction. I'm going to ask for electronics. We have nobody in electronics. I am going to close this public hearing and ask for the guidance of the council. Guidance of the council.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item number 10. Any final discussion? Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Deep, this property basically wraps around the property that we just.
It's going to be combined, except they're two different owners. They're proposing an IHOP in that area. An IHOP.
Oh, okay, all right.
So but they're just two different owners. That's why we had to see them differently.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions? Call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10 is passed 4-0. Calling for item number 11. Ms. De Luna, you have the floor.
Sorry, Mayor. Ordinances.
Oh, correction. For the record is 5157.
Okay, thank you. Item number 11 is a conditional use permit renewal. This is for drive-through service window for Barbecue Smokehouse. This is at 2211 East Griffin Parkway, Suite 100, Elizondo 495 Plaza Subdivision. It is commercially zoned, and the applicant is Orlando Ochoa. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located 300 feet west of Citrus along the north side of Griffin Parkway. The last conditional use permit for the drive-through was approved by P&Z on February 26, 2020 for a period of 2 years. The tenant would like to renew his CUP for the drive-through window. Access to the site is from a 30-foot driveway off of Griffin Parkway. The restaurant is located at the west end of the existing commercial plaza. The hours of operation are Monday to Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They have 16 employees in 2 different shifts. Parking, there are 139 parking spaces held in common. P&Z and staff recommended approval for life of use, subject to CUP not being transferable to others. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal? If you're at the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm going to ask for electronics. Is there anybody in electronics for this item? There's nobody in electronics. I'm going to close this public hearing and ask for the guidance of the council. We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? We have a second. Final discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 11, ordinance 5158 is approved 4-0. And calling for item number 12.
Item number 12 is a conditional use permit renewal. This is for the sale and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages for Barbecue Smokehouse. This is at 2211 East Griffin Parkway, Seat 100. It's located in Elizondo 495 Plaza Subdivision. It is commercially zoned, and the applicant is Orlando Ochoa. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located 300 feet west of Citrus along the north side of Griffin Parkway. The last conditional use permit for the sale of alcohol was approved by P&Z on February 26, 2020 for a period of 2 years. The applicant would like to renew his request. The restaurant is located at the west end of the existing commercial plaza. Hours of operation are Monday to Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They have 16 employees in 2 shifts. They have 139 parking spaces held in common. P&Z and staff recommended approval, subject to waiver of the 300-foot separation requirement from residential neighborhoods, and the CUP to be approved for a period of 2 years, at which time the applicant will have to renew their TABC license and conditional use permit. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor of this conditional use permit renewal? If you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. Go ahead, sir. Approach the podium at this time. Name and address for the record, sir. This is a public hearing. You're entitled to it. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Jose Iglesias. I live in 2325 West Palm Circle, Mission. I just have a question.
Go
Isn't
ahead.
there a daycare or a school right next to that place? And they're going to be selling liquor and alcohol?
We will take that into consideration, sir. This is a public hearing, and any other in the audience, if you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit renewal, please approach the podium at this time. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, and I'm going to ask for electronics. I'm going to close this public hearing, and I'm going to ask Ms. De Luna, is it true that there's because it doesn't, in our notes here, it doesn't say anything about a date, or what is it, child care center, or a school?
The reason for that is this business was there prior to the daycare, so they're just renewing the permit. So whatever was there remains as is. It's whatever's, now if they wanted to propose something a new business, then we would factor the 300-foot separation requirement.
Okay, so that wasn't a factor because it's a renewal.
Because it's a business, it's existing business.
Okay. I want to close the public hearing and ask for guidance from the council.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. In this, I open it for final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 12 is approved of ordinance 5159 as a 4-0 vote, unless I stand correct. Calling for item number 13. Ms. De Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 13 is a conditional use permit renewal. This is to keep a portable building for office use. This is at 1519 East Expressway 83. This is Lot 4, Henry Sign Subdivision. This is zoned heavy commercial. The applicant is AM/PM Roadside and Recovery. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The site is located 600 feet west of Stewart Road along the north side of Expressway 83 Frontage Road. The last CUP for a portable building for this location was approved by P&Z on January 13, 2021 for a period of 1 year. The applicant would like to renew the conditional use permit to keep the 14 by 72 portable building that is being used as an office. The portable building is located 103 feet from the property line, which allows for front area to be utilized for storage. Access to the site is off of the frontage road and shared with an existing business to the west. Hours of operation are Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. He has 3 employees for his staff. Section 1.57.3 of the zoning code states that exterior service and/or storage sites shall be buffered by the owner or operator prior to city issuing a permit. They have done that already. P&Z and staff recommended approval. P&Z recommended approval for 1 year, subject to, at the end of the 1 year, they need to replace the structure with a permanent structure, compliance with building, fire, landscaping, and sign codes, and CUP not to be transferable to others. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? If you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm going to ask for electronics. We have no electronics. I'm going to close this public hearing, and I'm going to ask the council to see if you can consider moving the recommendation of the conditional use permit renewal to 3 years, so we can align it with a 3 years new building, so they don't have to come back in 2 years and the third year for renewal, and then at the end they're going to do you're going to require them to do a building. Am I correct?
Correct, Mayor. The only reason, my recommendation was for 3 years to be in alignment with the council's direction, but the Planning and Zoning Board recommended that from now on, any new portable buildings only be allowed 1 year. The only issue here is that everybody who goes into those properties are renting the property, so it's a new tenant every time. So not all of them complete the 3 years, so therefore, anytime we get a new applicant, they're giving 1 year, and they want to see a permanent structure.
That's correct, but I still stand with my request, because this is his second year at the permit there, you know, and so they're stable, you know, and so if we're gonna ask him to do it in 3 years, you know, that'll give him some planning time, and maybe even going to be able to capture some financial assistance as they do their business there, to be able to do the new building. As long as the new building is not changed, you know, that we don't change 3 years and allow him to do the portable building, or allow the owner to do the portable building.
Can I ask
Go ahead, sir.
Can you show me the landscaping for this property?
The landscaping is along the front, but I know they're replacing it because of the freeze, it got damaged. So they did some improvements on the front of the property.
But the
Along
freeze
the frontage.
happened more than a year ago, no?
No,
Yes.
they just recently replaced that.
Because of the winds, right?
They have been having a little bit of trouble, and we did address that. We addressed the landscaping, the potholes that they had. So they have been improving the area.
And I know that maybe it's not, I'm not comparing apples with apples, but we are requiring, and I think there's a lot of good improvement taking place on the expressway, like all of this good dealerships and everything, but I mean, when it comes to rental properties, I don't think they meet any of our requirements when it comes to landscaping, when it comes to, this is a second renewal,
This is going to be their second year.
and unfortunately, they all have, none of them have really met the condition of going with a permanent.
We can ask them to do, we can add to include more additional landscaping, if that is the wishes of the
Well,
council.
what is required? I don't
5%.
think none of those on the expressway meet their requirements. So to me, we need to put a stop. If not, it's never gonna, none of them are meeting, and it's one of the areas that is pretty much visible to a lot of people that pass on the expressway, and so personally, I don't feel comfortable in voting to renew.
The requirement right now, Mayor, is,
Yes.
you'll let me interject, is 5% of the property?
Yes, to be
And
landscaped.
are they meeting the 5%?
They were at the time that they got the business license, yes. Right now, I know they planted, I just haven't checked if they did comply with the 5% or not. But we can certainly, that is something that they need to be in compliance in order to be keeping up with the conditional use permit. That is one of the recommendations.
So one of your recommendations is for them to meet the 5% requirement?
Yes, compliance with building, fire, landscaping, and sign codes.
So it's basically subject to?
Yes.
So that needs to be done before you actually sign the permit?
Well, they already have the permit. We could revoke it. We could recommend to be revoked if they don't meet it. They already have a business
On
license.
renewals, you have to, if they're here for a renewal, you still have to go through the process of revoking? Legal?
Yes, you give them notice, and then you can take action to revoke their permit.
But if it's not renewed, how?
You can also make it subject to, of course, you know.
But I'm not understanding. If a permit has an end date,
Right.
why do you have to go through the process of revoking if it has an end date?
Well, if you want to do it before it ends, you can revoke it, but you can just wait
If
till
I
it ends
may,
and not renew it.
Because the business license does not have an end date. The conditional use permit, and it's
Yes.
actually for the portable. The use is allowed. So in this case, we would need to send them a letter advising them that he's not meeting the parking requirements and revoke the actual license that they have. And it would have to go through a hearing like any other process.
Well, I mean, we're not talking, I feel like we're not talking about the license. What we're talking about here is the conditional use permit for the building.
For the building.
So if that has an end date, I don't see the necessity to revoke the conditional use permit because it has an end date,
Right.
right? So if we don't, what I'm saying is we don't have to go through the process of revoking.
It would
It
just
would
not
just
get
say
renewed.
don't
meet-
It would
Just not
get
renew it
You
yet.
just
We
don't
just not
renew
renew
it.
it.
Right.
Right.
You can, but you don't have to. You probably shouldn't either. I mean, just let it run out.
Right.
Yes. It will just not get renewed at the end of the CUP term.
Right. So
Unless we renew it.
well, but it's subject to having it in place. So Ruben, are you okay with that? That the landscaping needs to be in place before it's renewed?
I just feel like none of those that we have renewed, they only try to comply when we renew it. And I don't know what code enforcement is checking on that, but none of those businesses, I mean,
But-
look at those, I mean,
But we're not talking about it's specific to this location. And then at this point, we can't ask them for more than 5% because that's what our requirements are. So we can't ask them to go over
We can
our
ask them to be
requirements.
and we do ask them to be maintained. The landscaping, if it dries up, they still need to maintain it. That is
Yes,
an ongoing.
maintaining is something that has to be done, but we can't ask them just randomly say, well, we want 20% landscaping, because that's not what the requirement is. Right?
Yes.
We can ask, we can't require it.
Well,
Yes.
We can,
but that's not,
Yeah.
I mean,
They'll be complying with 5%.
with 5%.
with the 5%.
So being that that's the case, then I move to approve the conditional use permit
For 1 year or 3 years?
for 2 years you wanted, right?
I want it for 3 years.
3 years, for 3 years, subject to the 5%
Landscaping.
landscaping and maintenance of the landscaping throughout the 3 years.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
I,
Motion carries. Item passes 3-1. And ordinance number is 5160
Thank you.
for the record. Now I'm going to move to consent agenda. All consent agenda items are considered routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests an item be removed and considered separately. The City Council may take various actions including but not limited to the rescheduling an item in its entirety for a future date or time. The City Council may elect to go into executive session on any item, whether or not such item is posted as an executive session item at any time during the meeting when authorized by the provision of the Open Meetings Act. And I'm calling for consent agenda item number 14, consent agenda item number 15, consent agenda item number 16, consent agenda item number 17, consent agenda item 18, consent agenda item 19, and consent agenda item 20. What is the guidance of the council?
Mayor, I'd like to pull 19.
and
I
20.
just have a question.
You want to pull 20?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the other consent agenda items?
I so move.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda item 14, 15, 16, and 17, and 18 are approved with a 4-0 vote. And I'm calling for item number 19. Mr. Terras, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Item 19, authorization to solicit bids for the purchase of meter connection supplies for the Polyworks Department. The meter connect supplies are needed by the Polyworks Department for new water meter connections and repairs. The contract terms will be for 1 year with 1 year renewal option. Staff and City Manager recommends approval.
And just to clarify, these are the older meters that we currently have in place, and so it's we'll be continuing with what we had existing, and so these are those types of meters and not necessarily the new meters.
Open it for discussion by any of the council members.
so
Questions?
So we're going back to the old meters that we have.
Yes.
For right now.
Yes, correct, sir.
I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have, you have a second?
Second.
Second. Final discussion by any of the council members? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 19 is approved 4-0. Calling for item number 20, Mr. Terrazas. you have.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item 20, authorization to solicit bids for the purchase of cold water meters for the Polyworks Department. Meters are needed by the Polyworks Department to replace non-functioning meters and for new developments. The contract terms will be for 1 year with 1 year renewal option. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
Open it for discussion by the council.
What's the
It's the same.
Ruben?
Yes, sir, it's the same. The first one is the supplies, and the second one is the actual meters, yes, sir.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
How much are we gonna buy on meters?
So we're gonna leave it open for now. In an average, we install approximately from 400 to 500 meters a year. And that's 5/8, that's the standard usage. There's some that are also asked for a 1 inch. That's when they have a pool and their sprinkler system all together with a meter. So for the most part, it's a 5/8 inches of meters.
So how many are we gonna order?
So.
That's needed, right?
As needed, we usually do it as needed, so we're soliciting for bids to see who will be the lowest bidder. And like I
If you wanna
mentioned,
set a limit,
we
you can set a
usually
limit.
We're just,
install between 400 to 500 a year. So
Yeah.
as we're be needing, we'll be ordering and have it in stock.
And we're growing.
Yes.
Yes.
thank you, sir. I'm going to approve, Mayor.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any final discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 20 is approved 4-0. Calling for approval and authorizations. Item number 21, Ms. Luna, you have the floor.
Mayor and Council, item number 21 is a preliminary plat approval for Eduardo Subdivision, number 16, Phase 2. This is a 3.19-acre tract of land, more or less, out of the south 5 acres of the south 10 acres of Lot 35-4 West Addition to Sherryland Subdivision. This is in a suburban ETJ. The developer is Ingrid Astrid Izaguirre. The engineer is Izaguirre Engineering Group, LLC. The subject site is located on the west side of Trosper Road, approximately half a mile north of 3 Mile Road. The developer is proposing 14 single-family residential lots, all exceeding area requirements. The water belongs to Sherryland Water Supply Corporation. An existing internal 8-inch sewer line system will provide sewer service to all the lots. City engineer has reviewed and approved the drainage report. PNC and staff recommended approval, subject to payment of capital sewer recovery fees and comply with all of the reformats finding. This item is now before you.
Seeking guidance from the council.
I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve in a second. I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 21 is approved 4-0. And calling for item number 22, Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Mayor Council. Item 22 is authorization to reschedule the June 13th City Council regular meeting. This is being requested to reschedule from June 13th to Tuesday, June the 21st. This would allow for, due to a possible runoff, canvassing and swearing in to be held on Monday, June the 20th, and then we would have the council meeting on the next day. We're asking for this now because planning needs to make sure that they have the dates for their public hearing notices.
Seeking guidance from the council.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Final discussion by the council. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 22 is approved 4-0. Calling for item number 23, Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor.
Authorization to award bid for sign language interpreter for city council meetings. The City of Mission accepted and opened 5 bid responses. Staff is recommending awarding to Gloria M. Flores Interpreting Services, the lowest responsible bidder meeting all specifications at a cost of $55 per interpreter.
Your guidance from the council.
I'm going to approve, but I would like to know how much have we invested on that service?
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, and I'll open it for discussion. Ms. Carrillo.
Councilman Plata, currently what we had, it's the same vendor from before. And so it was $200 a meeting So we're spending $400 a month on the service because they only come during the regular council meetings
So it's $200
per meeting.
so then it's gonna be $55.
Correct.
But do they only come to the city council meeting?
Yes, sir, only the regular meetings, because if there's a special meeting,
Or
then the prices
as
go up.
needed, when we have federal people here, that they're going to go public and, or, you know, we activate them also because the federal division requires that service.
Thank you.
But it's very rare, you know. Any final discussions? Call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 23 is approved 4-0. And calling for item number 24, Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor.
Mayor, Council, item 24 is approval of election services contract for the May 7, 2022 City of Mission general election with the County of Hidalgo. They will be conducting and supervising the election. Estimated cost is $76,874. Now, the estimates are based on 100% voter turnout, which we know, does not occur. So this estimate will be reduced, but we're required to approve an agreement with the county. Staff and city manager are recommending approval.
Guidance from the council.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Final discussion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 24 is approved 4-0. And item
Thank
number
you.
25, Mr. Purchasing Agent, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Staff is seeking authorization to award proposals for construction of the Public Safety Building number 6. The City Mission has accepted and opened 4 proposals for the construction of the Public Safety Building. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract to Gerlach Builders, who had the highest evaluation results of the 4 responsive proposals. The total award amount is $6,160,040, and that includes any of the alternates. Additional funding will be sought from TERS for the full amount.
I move for approval.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 25 is approved 4-0, sir. Calling for item number 26.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Item 26, authorization to award bid for Benson Pond Phase 3 sewer improvements. The City of Mission opened and accepted 5 bid responses for the Benson Pond Phase 3 sanitary sewer improvements between Shoebach and Inspiration Road, just south of 1 mile south. After meeting with a low bidder and discussing the project with them, they're requesting to withdraw their bid. Therefore, staff recommendation is to award to RDH Site and Concrete, who is the second lowest responsive and responsible bidder, meeting all the specifications and conditions in the amount of $1,853,205. The construction cost of this project will be reimbursed to the city by the TERS, Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 26 is approved 4-0, sir. And calling for item number 27, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item 27, authorization to approve service agreement between the City of Mission and Lone Star Citrus Growers Agreement. The agreement authorizes Lone Star Citrus Growers to dispose of industrial wastewater at the City of Mission Industrial Pretreatment Plant for a period of 1 year. Fees associated with the disposal are based on meter readings as per gallons, industrial waste, BOD, biochemical oxygen demand, and suspended solids surcharge as described in the agreement. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 27 is approved 4-0. And I'm calling for item number 28.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Item number 28 is seeking authorization for the City of Mission to enter into an agreement to participate in the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program, otherwise known as LIWAP, program administered by Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. The Hidalgo County Community Service Agency has been awarded $6 million from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs to start the new LIWAP program. The LIWAP program will be administered by CSA through reviewing individual applications and determining eligibility for utility payment assistance. The City of Mission's Utility Department will partner with CSA to accept programmatic funding to be applied to eligible vulnerable customers' utility accounts. This is a great partnership opportunity with Hidalgo County for those Mission residents who are facing financial hardships or facing any disconnection notices. So I'd also like to provide the contact information to Hidalgo County before providing my recommendation here. It's going to be Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. Mission residents can apply at 2524 North Klosner Boulevard. That's Edinburgh, Texas, 78541. They can be reached at 956-383-6240.
Can you create a flyer and put it on our website?
Yes, sir. We will. And staff and city manager recommending approval.
I move for approval.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 28 is approved 4-0. Calling for item number 29. Mr. Mares, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. I'm here seeking authorization to purchase a generator, Generac SDO 250 kilowatt diesel generator from WPI Inc. via buy board contract number 597-19. This purchase will be made through ARPA funds at the cost of $154,544. Generator will be utilized to continue daily operations for the city departments in case of a major power outage. The generator will be also secure all IT equipment. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move to approve.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Open it for final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 29 is approved 4-0. Calling for item number 30. Mr. Perez, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. I will have Mr. Michael Elizalde present this item as well.
Go ahead, Mr. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, to provide an update on the Thrive gift card program that the City of Mission was partaking in, of the 13,000 cards that we initially purchased, which equates to $725,000, that was designated out of the American Rescue Plan Act funds, we have distributed 9,735 cards to Mission residents.
Wow.
As of today, we have 355,463 redeemed at some of our locally owned Mission participating businesses, which is a great, tremendous number. Therefore, we have $3,050 Thrive gift cards left, which equates to $150,000, and we have 265 100 Thrive gift cards, which equates to $26,500. What we'd like to propose, Mayor and Council, is to extend the program that we had not too long ago, which we invited our Mission employees who had received any vaccine from COVID-19 to be awarded a $100 gift card, to extend it out to the new hires as of today, including their family members. So we'd like to include family members of our employees, up to 4 family members they can claim who have received who have received a vaccine from COVID-19 to receive a $50 gift card. This would motivate and ultimately incentivize those who have received the COVID vaccine, but also motivate those family members who have yet to receive the vaccine. As we all know, COVID is still very real. So, Mayor, Council, if there are any questions, I'd like to entertain those.
I would like to entertain a motion to approve his request.
I so move.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Open it for discussion. Any questions before? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 30 is approved 4-0. And go ahead and open it up. Unfinished business that we have none. Routine matters. City manager, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. And just to add to Michael's presentation, As we had music in the park this Friday, I want to thank staff for a great turnout this past Friday. Michael and staff were there distributing Thrive cards as well. They almost reached 800 cards that were distributed in that 3-hour window, which is a great success, and they all participated in the Music by the Park. So we will continue doing that. Those events, also Music in the Park, but also we saw the success of offering the Thrive card as well. It was very well organized, and we appreciate all the participation. So that's also something that we'll continue doing for the Thrive card. Also this weekend, we participated in the Trash Bash on Saturday. Just roughly over 300 volunteers that participated, different groups. I want to thank staff for organizing that event. Very successful. Over 100 bags of trash collected in around 20 sites that we designated. Over 200 tires collected, and also we will be placing roll-off container bins throughout the city for the next 2 weeks. We'll be publishing those locations free to the community to go and dispose their bulky items in those containers. We will be again advertising those locations, as we'll have those for the next 2 weeks. Also, we will have a street dedication ceremony honoring Roberto A. Borbois this Thursday, April the 14th at 10 a.m. And this would be at the location of First and Doherty. The gathering would be at the Tatan Park. Again, this is Thursday at 10 a.m. This Thursday. Also, I'm proud to announce that we recently received a notice for a $25,000 Petco grant that will be utilized for the community to obviously to provide services to our community free of charge, different programs to help with spay and neuter animals and so forth. So we had just received that, so we'll be coordinating with them so we can again expand our animal shelter services for the community. So that's $25,000 that we just received. Also, Parks and Recreation is updating their master plan. Every 5 years, that's a requirement that we update our master plan. With that comes a public meeting that we'll be scheduling for next week, Wednesday, at the Mission Event Center. Again, it's just to gather information, provide input. That's a requirement so we can continue applying for future Parks and Wildlife grants as well as other grants. So that's we'll be scheduling that next week. And then also just the last thing, we will have city offices closed on Friday due to the Good Friday holiday. We do have staff on call in case anything does arise. We are on call throughout the weekend, so just wanted to share that.
Anything else, Mr. Perez?
That's it.
Okay. Mayor's comment. First of all, I want to thank all the staff members that made it possible for Chief Dominguez's retirement event. You know, it was a real nice event. As far as that, it was highly attended by a lot of his colleagues and his 35 years of service that he had for the city of Mission. And I want to thank all the staff members, because a lot of times the staff members don't get recognized because you all are behind the scene. But when things happen as beautiful as it did on that day for him, I think he's going to have a long-term memory of his retirement party. I want to echo also what Mr. Perez said about music in the park. I had the opportunity to attend the music in the park there, and I was very impressed with the Thrive program that was there. You know, hundreds of people were in and around the Thrive program, as well as hundreds of people were in and around the music at the park. If you haven't attended it, this is my third time that I go to that event, and I see new talent that is coming up from that academy. You know, I want to thank the Parks and Recreation. I don't see Mr. Benson over there. Mr. Benson, make sure you let your staff know, especially the creator of that concept, you know, that it's very, very good. Mission and downtown Mission, we had a lot of people on Friday, and it wasn't as cold as the second one, Mr. Benson. So I give you credit for that temperature change. I also had the opportunity to attend the Trash Bash on Saturday morning, And I thank all the staff members, and especially all the volunteers that came out, and I know Mr. Perez and I did a short trip around the city before, and then I did it after, and it's totally different. And I really like the organization, as the trespass was occurring, how things were being done, coordinated with all the city staff that went out there and picked up all the bags and so forth, and definitely the tires that Mr. Perez reported. We had seen them when we did the first round, and they're not there anymore. So that means that Mission is beautifying and getting better, and I would recommend that we do it more often if it's possible. I know we had competition because McAllen had it at the same time. Maybe we need to look at, I'm not talking about because some of the volunteers went to McAllen instead of Mission, and if they said that, well, if we had it in a different day, they would actively participate in Mission, and we're talking about organization as far as that is concerned. I want to thank also the library for the Easter hunt that they had Saturday afternoon. I know I had a full day that Saturday afternoon. I didn't get an opportunity I swung by there by drive-through, but drive-through I didn't have a chance to stop because my schedule did not allow it. Also, the same thing that I did at drive-through was through a museum. The museum was also active Saturday afternoon. And I also want to thank Mr. David Flores, who attended the Mission Chamber Mixture with me in Far, Texas, right, David? In Far, Texas, but the Cano family who has their place over there in Far are actively participating in our chamber, and we had a great time there. I met a lot of people that I had not seen before, including the contractor that's doing dirt change in the 14 acres across the street from my house, and I had seen him out there when I was out in the porch, but I didn't know who he was. What a coincidence that we were in the same the mixture with it. And I'd like to thank the chamber for doing those kind of events, because the networking is unmeasurable when you network like that. And there were a lot of people there. Thank you, David Flores, for joining that as far as that. I do also want for Mr. Perez to highlight the sales taxes report. You want to highlight the sales taxes report, the one for January, the one for last month, and the cumulative sales tax report, please.
Yes, sir. We recently, in the past couple months, we've had great numbers. The previous month, it was over 60% increase from the previous year in sales tax. Last month, it was approximately about 27% increase from the previous month. And so we've been very positive throughout these months. We've superseded every year from the previous month comparison. For the year, we're at approximately 32% over last year overall for the year. And so we see the continuing progress and the continuing trend positive for our sales tax. And so, I want to thank everyone that shops Mission, because definitely we couldn't do it without them. But it's a great a positive trend that we're continuing to see.
Cumulative, are we the highest in the Rio Grande Valley?
Yes, according to the reports, they were reported as highest in the valley, to include cities up in the state, to include Houston, Dallas, and so forth, San Antonio.
Good. That means that our Missionites are staying home to eat and staying in our city limits, and people are purchasing in Mission, as far as that is concerned. And as the public hears this comment, I want to thank the Mission citizens, and I want to thank the public that comes in, because right now we have an event at the Mission Event Center, that brings in indirect costs to the city of Mission. They're not citizens of Mission, but they are here in Mission for 3 days, and they'll be spending their money here in Mission. Our Winter Texans also, bon voyage to wherever they're going. Those that are staying, welcome to the city, and stay for long term. Obviously we've had good success with them. There were a lot of, I think the estimate number that there were 44,000 in the Rio Grande Valley, and that $132 a day that's being spent between Brownsville and Rio Grande City. So all we're asking is for them to spend as much of the $132 in Mission, Texas. Without further ado, I'm going to ask Mr. Plata. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to see if I can get the approval and participation from the council for us to celebrate the National Day of Prayer. I know our event center will be not available on that day. I had talked to Ida and Randy.
What is the date, Mr. Plata?
May 5th, which is on a Thursday.
Cinco de Mayo?
Yes, sir. Cinco de Mayo. We would like to concentrate on the peace in Ukraine. Number two, for the peace in our nation, our governor, our president. And also, I mean, as we all know, there's a lot of candidates running for office, that the Lord help us to be transparent, honest, and for us to accept what the Lord's will be for this community, for the city, for Sharyland, Mission, and our city. I think it's important to ask for God's guidance and for every candidate to accept what the Lord will is. We would like to do it maybe at in front of our police office, building. I think I really would like to also invite, if it's approved, to our community. We need to close the street, we will, but I think this is not a religious thing, but Mission is a Christian-based community. We would like, whether you are Protestant, Pentecostal, Baptist, Catholic, I think it would make a big impact, for our God.
Yes. Maybe Leo Peña Park may be an option,
Okay.
that would be an option there, as long as the weather is permitting, Some of the churches that have capacity for 1,000 people that we have, like the church on 495, maybe we need to approach them to see if we can use their facilities, as far as that is. But I'm with you, Mr. Plata.
But I think if we do it on a city facility, it will be more receptive for people to come and not do it at any church building.
That's fine, that's fine. Yes, we got plenty of places. I think we can figure it out.
So if the
I think
council agrees.
He
I mean-
directed it to Ida Lerman, so I think he took notes. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, anything else, Mr. Plata?
I don't know. Any comments, any questions?
Any comments?
I was just asking Randy, it didn't have to be on that particular day. It's been done on other days,
Okay.
plus or minus.
It might be a
So-
good idea to do it maybe before, since so that I know the county's having theirs, and
Yes.
and this is, once again, it would not be a political event. No candidate will bring any propaganda, no shirts, none of that. We would like to pray for all the candidates. I mean, and let it be the Lord's will.
If we're going to move it from May the 5th, maybe the event center may be available. If you could check if you're going to make the movement.
Yes, sir. We'll move forward to planning the event, and then we'll look at different options for
Thank you.
venue and dates.
Ms. Garza, you have the floor.
I just want to wish the staff and our residents a happy and safe Easter.
Mr. Vela?
Same happy and safe Easter for everybody.
And obviously, I think from the whole council, we want to wish everybody a happy Easter and a safe one too, so we can continue moving forward. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.001.
Also move.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are in executive session. entertain a motion to reconvene. We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Calling for executive session 31A. Mr. Martinez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. 31A requires no action, Mayor.
Calling for 31B.
I believe there was going to be a motion offered.
I move to approve as presented.
I
You
will
move to
recognize the motion. Do I
You
hear
move
a
to
second?
accept and ratify as presented.
Second.
I will recognize the motion on legal advice. Let me put it for the record,
Correct, Mayor.
okay?
Second,
Yeah.
yes. Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. For the record, I oppose, but I want to make it very, very clear why I'm opposing. One, I'm asking for a cost-benefit analysis of what we're approving before we can approve it. Two, item is not on the agenda, item is not on the agenda for discussion and action to be taken. Three, it's not in the budget either. And four is the fact that I would love to go back to what we approved already on the city council, which was 2 articles only. I would be in favor of 2 articles, but not 6. So just for the record, I just want to make sure that is, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.